What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, the historian, Ryan Walker. You know how we get down. You either get right or you get left. Unfortunately, the Washington Commanders left the Falcons in Washington with a loss, and we got to come back home and deal with this. So sit back, relax. We're going to go ahead and get this thing started. It's the Benediction, y'all. Let's go. What's going on, good people? We're back. Got the magnificent BirdCage crew that's getting ready to join us. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. Before we let anybody in here, we're going to get through our soliloquies. So if you were waiting to get in here, you're going to be waiting for a minute. So you might as well go ahead and just sit back and wait because the BirdCage crew getting ready to attack this before we let the fans do this here. So sit back and relax. We got Coach Cam, Graybeard, and we also got K-Dub. There we go. What's happening, fellas?
What's up? Glad to be in the building tonight, fellas.
Man, look, we got to go ahead and get this thing started, man. Let's go ahead and handle this. The Falcons lose yesterday in a heartbreaking defeat, overtime or whatnot, and the game honestly was mismanaged, and then it was just bad all the way around. I mean, you give up a 17-point lead that you have, and you only really get the ball in the third quarter 2 times, and you go 3 and out both times. 15 minutes, damn near 15 minutes, your defense is on the field. I can't be mad at the defense because they was on the field the whole time at all. So, again, it's a lot of things that you got to talk about when we talk about this team being gassed, but it's got to start at the top. Raheem Morris, it's starting with you tonight, bro.
Oh yeah, you better get cooked.
Tonight is the night that people getting ready to put belt to ass tonight. So you said you got broad shoulders and you can carry a lot. You getting ready to carry all the misery of Falcon Nation on your back. So this is your first year here in Atlanta, but understand that seat is about to get warm now. If you don't, here's the thing: if Tampa does not lose next week and Atlanta does not win or even get into the playoffs or division title, just know that seat is going to be warm on your posterior. It's just what it is. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. I normally start with y'all, but you know what? We're going to make this fun today. The person that had the most to say yesterday was Coach Cam. We all kind of sat back in silence. So guess what we're getting ready to do? Coach Cam, go ahead. We're going to let you light in the Raheem because guess what? We all getting ready to get a piece of this Falcon team today.
Well, I'm no longer mad, so I'm going to say this. Raheem definitely is going to have belt to ass tonight, but I'm going to look at it like from a coaching perspective. Over the last 7 years since we've lost Matt Ryan, right? We've had a whole bunch of journeyman quarterbacks come in here. Desmond Ritter, Super Mario. When you have a caliber of quarterback like Kirk Cousins, you have the ability to bring him in to start a rebuild with a new regime and everything like that. I can understand why he didn't want to pull the trigger on removing Kirk Cousins sooner. Here's the thing. With the reason he didn't pull him, he tanked our season. And because of it, now we're on the outside looking in after losing 4 of the last, 5 games that we had for that month stretch. As great as Michael Penix looked in the game, and all the chances we had to win the game last night, it still fell on Raheem because he mismanaged his timeouts like he's done all season. There was multiple games this season where had he just called a timeout, we would have had time to move the ball even further down the field. So because of his reluctance to call timeouts, because you can't take them with you after the game. You can't use them in the next game. So you might as well use them. In this instance, once Darnell Mooney caught the ball, we still had about 38 to about 42 seconds left on the clock. You call the timeout. He didn't. He bled the clock all the way down to 19 seconds. That absolutely destroyed any momentum the team had, especially with that terrible, terrible stat. Now, there are certain things that he has not done all season as far as removing certain players, as far as on the offensive line, Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Lake, as well as Zach Robinson. There are certain things that just fall on his plate that he refused to do because he's, like you said before, he's like a Mississippi pimp. He can say and talk crazy to the fans and make us believe everything that he said. But on Sundays, the stuff that he tells us, it don't show up. And I'm not going to yell, scream, none of that stuff because I'm going to let the fans do all that. But I'm coming at it from it did look rigged to me a little bit because, again, when you've been in the league this long and you know that your kicker only has a leg for up to about 52 yards, you call it timeout. It's easy to pick up another 5 to 6. So
hold up, because we know you're going to go for about 15. We got to rotate this around because we're going to let these fans get in here because they chomping at the bit. So I got to pass this one to K-Dub next. Graybeard is going to polish it off, and then we're going to start letting these fans come up in here because, woo, let's just say this here. I had some folks that hit me up in my DM, like literally hit me up, K-Dub, and I'm talking about I had messages coming all night. So I'm going to be honest with you, I had to turn my phone off. So I'm at that, and my thing is it was quite a few people, but what you got, K-Dub? Because I see the solemn look, the faraway look. I know this getting ready to be good.
I mean, I'm not gonna poo-poo it. I'm gonna let these fans go ahead and have them run them over with a damn Mack truck today. But you know, it is what it is, man. I mean, everything they say, they can throw darts, they can throw stones, they can throw glass at him right now. But he's gonna be here next year. I mean, it's his first season. He made a lot of bonehead ass decisions. I mean, like I say, I'm teetering of taking you down off this wall over here, but it's tough, man. But I mean, he's still our head coach. I want to be behind him. I know everybody else is gonna vilify him right now, but it is what it is. Until he gets fired, you know, you want to back the logo like we always say on the show. I was wondering myself, what the hell are you doing? Why didn't you call those timeouts, man? I mean, this is not the first, it's not the second, it's not the third time you've had piss poor clock management. I mean, you have to have that. I don't know if you need to bring in some assistants, another coach, somebody to help you. I don't know, because it ain't looking good for you. I'm just saying. I mean, we've blown so many opportunities this season to make the playoffs that it's redundant right now. I think he needs to bring in help. I think they're going to make him upper management, or the owner's going to make him bring in people to help him along, or either make him fire one or both, or something, one of these coordinators, because things have to change. Because I'm trying to figure out, how do you sell the fans? The fans did what they supposed to do. They bought out, sold out all the PSLs and the tickets for season ticket holders. How do you muster up anything to get those fans back excited for another dud? So you're going to have to make some changes. You're going to have to do something to get the fans back enthusiastic about coming back to the bins to see the same old movie again. But I don't want to hold up. I don't want to hold up the time and the screen. I'm upset. I'm very upset, but I just wanted to put a good spin on it, because I seen some positives in that game. You know, up until the decisions that were made. Penix, you know, he had some throws that he wish he could have back, but he also made some throws that made me say that's why we wanted to go draft him and we got our quarterback. So we just need to build around him. build a better rapport with this offensive coordinator and get a better. I know we have quarterback coaches, but we need some better guys coaching Penix up because it's a lot of things that he needs to work on in his game that I see that can make us a better football team and make him a better quarterback moving forward. But other than that, I'm gonna step off and let Graybeard handle it, and I'm gonna let these guys tear them apart today. Go ahead.
Yeah, because we got folks behind the stage talking in the private chat, man. Look, we see what you're saying in the timeline. You ain't got to post it in the private chat. Come on, man. We gonna let you up. We got you. Calm down. We got you. Graybeard, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
It been that type of Monday, to say the least. I looked at 92.9 the game, and they were just going straight full auto, and rightfully so. But I'm just want to say this, man. I've had 3 head coaches: Raheem Moore, Arthur Smith, Dan Quinn, had one thing in common: time management, clock management. And I'm trying to figure out how in the blue hell do we have 3 coaches with the same problem. The same problem.
Graybeard, didn't Arthur Smith hire a time management?
No, that was Dan Quinn.
Last season?
Well, that was Dan Quinn who did
that. That was Dan Quinn.
I knew it was one of them. But didn't they have?
Yeah. And to me, Dan Quinn figured it out when he went to Dallas, I guess. But it just, to me, this season sums up everything. That game summed up everything that we need to know about this season. Our front office is garbage. I'm talking about trash.
Last night's game encapsulated the entire season of the season. That's
our front office is not trash because it's some worse franchises out there. We might be close to trash.
I'm gonna call it. They
won 8 games with this trash now.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem. Regardless of those 8 games, we're still missing the playoffs. You had a chance to bring in somebody who was competent. Raheem's record is what it is. I get being behind him because he got the logo. I'm with it because he's here. But look, if it walked like a duck, it quacked like a duck, it is a duck. Because
Ducktail, baby.
You can't talk. You can't sit there and deny that win-loss record. You are what your record is. And if you look at that before he got here, it was bad. But my thing is, I said, okay, because he spent around the block a few times and he got a chance to be an assistant, I'm like, okay, he probably learned his lesson because in that first situation in Tampa, he got thrown into a bad spot. Well, I'm not even going to sit there and act like he wasn't because that was a horrible situation with John Gruden getting fired and all that mess that went on. He inherited a BS situation, but he had good players. He's never built the roster before. In his whole time he's been a coach, he's never built the roster. Here's my thing. Raheem is who the hell he is. We got to ride out with it. He's here. He ain't going nowhere. But I'm not going to sit here and not call a spade a spade. It's not poo-pooing on it. It's calling the damn truth. The problem is a lot of Falcon fans were okay with trashing Arthur Smith, okay with trashing Dan Quinn. And even before that, all these coaches, Raheem ain't above that. Just because you dark as an ace of spade like us on this set does not put you above criticism, even in your first year. You had a gridlock on the division. You came in running your mouth before pretty much writing a check your ass couldn't cash. You should have just let the situation play out. I like the confidence. I like that. But you got to do less talking and more walking. That's just what it is, and that's pretty much what I'm trying to.
The head coach is gonna get interviewed every day, so he's gonna have a mic in front of him.
No, it's not.
So what he gonna say?
The interview is how you handle the interview because you are gonna be in the front of the media because the same things that you open your mouth and you give them, they're going to crucify you with the same thing. And here's the thing, because we got to let Will up in here, and then we got to let other folks up in here because they are chomping at the bit to get in here. What's up, Coach? Because we'll end up being in here. We'll argue about this, but it's one thing that, all right, first year, we're going to give you a chance. Well, you know what? First year, it sucks. It happened. It's what it is. But next year, you don't get a pass if we don't get to the playoffs. You don't get a pass if we don't get the division, because this division was weak. It was weak this year. So this brother has no excuse at all. I'm sorry. It ain't poo-pooing him. I got to hold his feet to the fire, because his stubbornness and unwillingness to pull the trigger when he needed to has cost us. And at this point, the defense played their hearts out last night. Even though they gave up 17, they was on the field too long. But I'm not going to put it on this one game. You got to go back looking at losing to a 2-7 New Orleans when you could have wrapped the division up.
Absolutely.
That falls on Raheem.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It falls. I mean, just be honest.
You get all the blame.
Yeah, but I mean, look, man, AJ Terrell played his heart. That was probably the best.
Hey, Will, where you at, man?
That was probably the best weekend AJ Terrell this entire season.
Absolutely. And I said it last night.
Hey, hold up. We got a special guest coming through here. This man that been MIA for a long time, and he finally slide through the cage to I guess get to the Benediction Lounge to pray. We got Uncle Steve in here.
Well, where you? Where you?
Uncle Steve right here.
Partyline.
What's happening?
Where you at, though?
Steve?
I only came to compare how gray my beard was to Graybeard, and just letting him know that he's running behind.
Oh yeah, I'm running far behind. You ain't lying about that. Hey, yeah,
the Falcons put that on you.
Yeah.
What's up, Ryan? What's up, Coach?
What's going on, Uncle Steve?
What's up, K-Dub? How y'all doing, man?
I mean, I just want to sum this up. We had opportunities in the game, besides the rookie mistake. Like I said, we got sacked last night. We had 5 of them. We got a turnover. Penix, rookie as he is, tying the game drive. 2 he converted. 2, not 1, but 2 fourth down.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you see why we picked this man, and you feel our future is pretty bright if we can keep him upright.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But the fact,
and if you look at the defense last night, I said if we went away from that 4-3 to a 3-4 shell, which they ended up doing, it takes away the pass. And you see what AJ Terrell was able to do with Scary Terry. The only thing is, with a 3-4, you're liable with quarterback runs, which I kept saying you need to put D'Angelo Malone back in the game to be a spy. But they never went back to that spy look because of that penalty that he had, and he never saw the field again. That's something that I'm still not trying. I still can't wrap my mind around that.
But that's the micro. But that's
the rest of the game.
Yeah,
hey,
but that's
fellas,
the micro.
Let's let Will have a sec to talk, because apparently he got a lot to say in the chat. So we're gonna let him speak tonight. What you got, Will?
Go ahead and cook.
What's up, Uncle Steve? What's up, K-Dub? What's up, Gary Ray? What's up, Coach Cam? What's up, Historian? What made me pissed off was we stopped running the ball for what was working. When what really pissed me off when Zach Robinson had Bijan Robinson in the Wildcat, and Drew Dalman had a low snap, and Bijan Robinson ran and lost 20 yards. That ticked me off. I almost lost my jaw. I had to hold my composure. And that pissed me off because Zach Robinson got too cute when we got in the end zone, and then we got out coached. What I seen with the coordinator wasn't Kill Kubiak, whatever his name from the Commanders. He knew
Kyle Kubiak.
Well, Kingsbury.
Kingsbury. He said that it was blitzing. We're gonna run. They kept doing that, and we ain't make no adjustment. Raheem Morris should have called timeout and make adjustments. He didn't do that. He was just worried about the scoreboard and just chewing gum. That ticked me off, man. But like I said, man, moving forward, man, it is what it is. But they got to cut Zach Robinson, get us an experienced offense coordinator, and Jimmy Lake. I put what's his name, Jerry Gray, man. Just get some of these coaching staff out the way, man. And then you on the hot seat, Raheem Morris. I'm sorry. And then that timeout we had, I don't know why we had 30 seconds left on the clock. He could have called a timeout. And let's give them boys a chance to at least get this man 50 yards to kick the field goal. So
So
that's all I
here's
got
my
to say.
question for you, because you've been, every time we lose, you always want to fire all the coaches. Now I'm gonna ask you this, because this is just, you got to take your feelings out of this for a sec, and I'm just being 100 with you on this. Who are you going to get to replace your offensive coordinator at this point? Because most of the OCs that's worth a damn are going to be head coaches coming up next year. Who are you going to get to be the head coach of this disaster at this point that's going to walk into this situation? They had a chance to get Steve Wilkes. They passed on him, and that was a guy that I wanted. And I said that from the jump, but I got to ride with Raheem because he's here. Belichick would have cleaned house and actually would have probably been halfway competent with what we have. But nobody wanted to give that up because Arthur Blank was worried about the people in the front office opposed to winning at the time. And we all know that was what that was. But let's be real. You got him here. If you fire him now, you're gonna have to pay him a lot of money. You at least need to get something out of this whole situation. Remember, Dan Quinn went 8-8. We started off 8-0 and ended up losing 8 straight. And then we go to the Super Bowl the next year. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but you at least got to let this man get another year, because he walked into a situation that was already messed up from Arthur Smith. Now, I'm not happy about the results of this season, but you got to take your feelings out of this and think logically about the whole situation around. We all pissed off about not making the playoffs and losing the 3 to 4 game lead on the division. We all pissed about that. But you got to really think about, what are we going to do? We fire these people. We set ourselves back. It could be a hell of a lot worse next year where you're not winning any games. We went over the 7-game margin finally. So all I'm saying is there's no hate, there's no anger, and I'm not saying that to you because I had folks come in early this morning on a bumper to bumper to say the same thing you said. So I got to address that. What the hell direction are you going to go in if you fire this man? You're going to bring another first-year coach in here? And you're going to be sitting here pissed off again? Come on, man.
I get the dude from Tampa, what's his name? Leftwich, whatever, the black
you talk about Byron Leftwich?
Yeah, I better get him to Zach Robinson, because Zach Robinson don't know the fundamentals from sticking what's working for identity, running the ball, standing passing. Why would you have Michael Penix kept throwing the ball?
Hold on. Not to be disrespectful, nothing like that. Just I'm talking to you from a coach's perspective. You brought up the Wildcat, right?
Yes, Wildcat formation.
It's the same formation that we scored on. The only thing different in the fourth quarter, Drew Dalman threw the ball completely over Bijan's head. That had nothing to do with Bijan. It wasn't the formation. It's a personnel issue with the center. If he would have hit him in his chest or anywhere in the vicinity, that's 6. Easy. But again, it was a great play call because it worked already. So if you look at the numbers we had, where the run was supposed to go,
it was an alley right there.
He was walking.
That was a touchdown.
That was on the center. If you gonna blame anybody about that, you got to blame Drew Dalman for that, bro.
And it's not the first time Drew Dalman has done that throughout this season, which is why I kept saying Ryan Newsome should have been the permanent center for the rest of the year, because he didn't have those errant snaps. We all know from last year and this year, Drew Dalman is going to throw one either in the dirt, over the head, or as Penix was looking off the defense and trying to get his receivers lined up, he hikes the ball, which ended up in a terrible play. So it's not that the Wildcat is a terrible formation or whatever like that. Zach Robinson called a really great game last night. He called
the right plays at the right time. Because guess what? If he doesn't dial up that pass, that slant route to Kyle Pitts on that 4th and 11, we don't go to overtime. So at the end of the day, You got a rookie head coach with all that pressure. I'm sorry, rookie offensive coordinator who's never sat in that seat before. And he literally had Washington on their heels last night. We just didn't execute. Yeah. So if
players got to execute, man.
Exactly. It's an all around trend. It ain't just coaches. Players didn't execute last night. So if you're gonna hold folks accountable, you gotta hold that defense accountable when AJ Terrell missed the crucial tackle on the 1 yard line that he could have took the running back.
Wrapping up.
Come on, man. I get we upset about this, but let's be logical, folks. We gotta be logical. Yeah. Look, we still got one game next week. It ain't over with. We pissed off. Man. I get it. Uncle Steve, I'm gonna let you cook because I see you smirking right there. You know where I'm going with this. Let's be honest. Yeah, we believe the Saints would lie down, but they would be stupid enough to win the ball game. They put us in the playoffs. I honestly believe they would be dumb enough to do it.
I don't think the Saints gonna beat Tampa though. I
ain't the Saints beat Tampa, the football guys want us in there.
Exactly. You never know because guess what? Baker Mayfield finds a way to be Baker Mayfield that he was when he was at Oklahoma. So again, Baker gonna give you one or two. And New Orleans is good enough to capitalize off that. Now, if they are that petty to just lay down and lose, the hate is real.
Oh yeah, I think the hate is real.
I got what's up, C-Dub? We got real. Uncle Steve and then C-Dub, and then we'll open this thing up, man. What you got, Uncle Steve?
Yeah, so I first appreciate it. I was going to tell William, yeah, it's a moot point anyway when they scored a touchdown. So don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say whether he threw it 30 yards over his head or not. We ended up scoring. So, at the end of the day, who cares? Listen, the coaching thing that you were talking about, and I'm glad I was listening to you say that, Ryan. You said something earlier about having a head coach having a chance to build his own roster. We haven't had that opportunity yet. Think about the teams we've had. We've had 3 straight 7-10 seasons. So what does that tell you? We haven't started from the bottom. Last time we had a team that we had an opportunity to do that was 4-12 when we got unicorn. We haven't had an opportunity because we've been that middling team right in between. We haven't had an opportunity to get rid of all the money at the first and then build a lot of rookies because we had this thought that we're 1 or 2 pieces away instead of, you know what, let's clear the slate and do it. When you're 7-10, you can't clear the slate. You're kind of in no man's land. So I think that's where we're coming from. And yes, I get everybody hot to fire Raheem. I get it. It was horrible. It was atrocious. I do want everybody to look at the press conference today. I'm not trying to get any sympathy for Raheem. I'm not trying to get anything. Listen to what he said today, not the one last night. Listen to what he said today. That doesn't sound like anybody that's running from what I say, Ryan say, Coach say, Graybeard say, anybody says. He took responsibility for the play. Mm-hmm. He explained that his thought was we could have got it out quicker. We could have got it. Maybe it was wrong, but at least he took responsibility for it. Yeah. So I'm one of those people to say, let's give him one more year before we get out. And let's also not forget, lastly, dude, he won his 8th game last week. We've been complaining, man, if we could just get somebody to win 8 games, and he got a chance to win 9. And we'll probably will win 9. So let's build from 9 and 8 and stop worrying about trying to fire. Yeah, because I listened to C-Dub them this morning. They were all trying to fire him on his show. All this morning, they were trying to give him
they've been trying to fire him since day one.
Man. Yeah, man. They were trying to fire the man since he got hired.
Hey, at least, let's bring a sound box, and also, I stand on business. So
you can stand on business all you want to. Who you gonna hire?
I show up early in the morning.
Hey, C-Dub. So you gonna be our new head coach when they fire Raheem?
What now?
I think you gonna be the new head coach when they fire. If they fire Raheem,
hey, look, hold
on. Watch this, Ryan. Uncle Steve, watch this. Watch what I can do. Timeout.
Yeah, but it's more than that. And don't get me wrong. I get it. After last night. Yeah, that's fair. But let's put it this way. No other team had probably gotten over 500 teams since 2017. He has something to build on. We have a young team, and more important, you got a gunslinger in there. Let me tell you what it said. No quarterback that we've had on this roster would have made that throw to Kyle Pitts. Nobody, not Kurt, not Desmond Ridder, not Marcus Mariota, not old Matt Ryan would have made that throw to Kyle Pitts. So let's not pretend like we don't have pieces. Does he have some mistakes? Yeah, he got some mistakes he's made. But let's not pretend like we don't see some things that we can do to build on 2025.
Because everyone was talking bad about Penix, but we all have to remember it's only his second game. He's a rookie in his second game. He played a diaper soft Giants team, and now you're playing almost a runner-up to the NFC East. So, like when he was in that game, he missed some passes. Granted, he's a rookie. I wasn't mad about that. But when it came down to game-winning football, he showed us why he was drafted 8th by the Falcons. He went in there, cool, calm, and collected. He made the passes that he needed to make. Plain and simple.
Now I'm gonna give y'all one question too, man. We got the address of Nickel.
I think everybody want to go ahead.
For bad clock management.
Yeah, it was controversial.
All right, we got somebody else we getting ready to bring up in here. We got one half of the Water Boys coming. Trey is in the building. What's up, Trey?
What's up, Trey? Oh,
what's up?
Okay. Hello?
I don't know what happened, C-Dub. Hold up. Trey, what's up, man? Trey. I guess he putting his earpiece in.
Yeah,
Trey, what's up, man? Trey.
Hey.
Trey.
Hey, we can't hear you, bro. Can you hear us?
Live from the Water Boys.
Trey, can you hear us, bro?
Nah.
I'll bring him back up. Let me see if he'll hear us when we bring him back up.
Who had a question?
Hey, look, the clock management, we done touched on it, man. He terrible with clock management. We know that, but we want. Can y'all answer the question? Who we're gonna bring in as our head coach if we fire him tomorrow? And y'all
nobody. You want me to answer?
I'll give you
somebody.
Pete Carroll. Hold on.
No,
I know you're gonna
give
me.
This question an open question?
No, that's not who I'm gonna get. You asked that question, I got it for you. Why don't you go get Brian Flores, a man that was a head coach already, a man that got black, a man that actually understands how to coach, a man that knows how to build a team? Because guess what? That team that's down there in Miami is his. The coach that's there just doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So again, if you do get rid of him, hey, Terry need to be on the plane in Minnesota and say, hey, Flores, we're gonna give you a shot. Bring him in.
And
Trey,
who are you?
man?
What about Eric Glenn for the Detroit?
Trey, what's up, man?
Hey, who are you going to start over at his OC?
We can't hear you, Trey. Hold up. Trey was speaking on Uncle Steve. We couldn't hear him. Trey, check your mic, man. Still can't hear you, bro.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you now.
You good.
Go ahead, Uncle Steve.
What's up,
and then we got
fellas?
Trey
What's up,
coming
everybody?
up.
What's up,
What's
everybody?
up?
Salute to everybody, man. I'm not gonna stay in and interrupt the floor what y'all got going on. I just wanted to pop in and say hello, let y'all know, man. Hey, I appreciate everything y'all do. It's finna be a new year, and I just want to say Happy New Year in case I don't get a chance to talk to y'all. I saw y'all on. I said let me tap in, holler at my boy Ryan, man. Holler at everybody on the show, man. Let y'all know I appreciate y'all. It's better times to come. You know what I'm saying, for us Falcon fans. But hey, I just wanted to say what's up.
I appreciate that.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you for coming through.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you too.
I'm actually about to jump off too, but I wanted to make one point when y'all start talking about new coaches and everything too. Remember, and I'm not trying to say he's the cat's meow. You're gonna start Michael Penix all over again and another offensive coordinator. So now we're gonna stunt him one more year with new coaching and a new style. So we can keep being overreactive about firing a coach. Raheem messed up. It was horrible. It wasn't his first time. It won't be his last time. But at the same time, you can't burn the whole house down over one loss. And yes, our chances are 1 in a million to make the playoffs. But while you still got something to play for 9-8. Play for what's going on next year. Play for those players that you know want to play next year and say, you know what? We got something cooking this year. We're not going to be 7-10. We're not going to have a top 10 pick. We got guys in here who could play. Got to build, like Ryan was talking about, building a roster. That's how you build chemistry. That's how keeping the guys there, keeping the guys together. This fire everything. I mean, I swear, man, I was like, I don't want to work for C-Dub, though, because C-Dub don't want to fire everybody. I ain't trying to work for y'all.
I want to fire everybody.
You can't be knee-jerk reaction about that. I mean, if you can, but you're not going to be successful. The only place that works is Wall Street, where you go up and go down by the day.
Okay.
You ain't never lied. Hey, Steve, but you know what else? Like you say, what go up and down? That damn retention rate for the military. That's the other thing that go up and down.
That's another thing.
Exactly. And right now, and think about it. And right now, it's down right now. So again, that's gonna be something that goes up. What's up, Trey?
Man, look, I just do want to say this. I hear y'all talking about should Raheem be fired or not. Me personally, based off last night, no, I would not fire Raheem. I don't think that's a fireable offense at this particular stage. I am pissed off. I'm upset. Raheem been in a lot of football games. He should know how to handle a game better than that. He watched his man Dan Quinn across the field have to hire a darn clock management guy one time. He should have known that he need better clock management. But hey, I'm looking at it like this coming into next year. This is what I'm looking at hoping. After the bye, we split the season up in half. I know it's not game-wise, it's not 2 halves of the season, but if you split it up before the bye and after the bye, the defense, whatever they went in, however they self-assess themselves, they went in and the defense is better as far as getting pressure. Do we still need improving in certain areas? Let's see what year 2 will look like with this defensive coordinator and with Raheem going. And this is a rookie offensive coordinator. I don't think any of us loved it, that it's a rookie offensive coordinator. But, hey, now you have one year on this belt. And he already knows what Penix can do. Hopefully they'll be able to move forward, and let's see what they have. But you burn it down. We keep saying, I mean, we can say, hey, it's better options out there. It's better options out there. You don't know for a fact you're going to get the better option. Like, you can try. You can try to get the better option, but you don't know if you're going to get it. And then when it gets in, you don't know for a fact that it will be the better option. I say, right, at least need 1 more year. I wouldn't even think about firing him just off of last night. I wouldn't even think about firing him yet. That's just me. I wouldn't think about firing him right now.
But Trey, the thing is this, man. C-Dub was the one who said fire him. All of us in here, because I went on a rant about it. I said, who the hell you gonna get? C-Dub, let's get this straight. So I see Slim Duller. I'm gonna tell you like this: it was nobody in the BirdCage who said it. That was C-Dub who said that. The only thing we said was, okay, who can you replace him with? It would be Brian Flores. Would be honestly him and Steve Wilkes would be the best options that you have, or you bring in a Ryan Grubb who worked with Penix while he was at Washington, who knows Michael Penix. Those are the only options that you would have. But as we said before, you can't start over like that. We can't burn the house down, because the moment you burn the house down, as I said earlier, it's going to be a problem. And you could go from 8 wins to 3 or 4 wins. Just saying.
Yeah. Now, do I think they need to just let it run 4 and 5 years if it's not successful, or even 3 years? No, I don't. But I would. Like, talking about firing, and shout out to you, C-Dub, man. Shout out to you. I see C-Dub over there stressed. I'm talking about, man, I could have sworn I saw this man beard get even grayer since I've been talking about not firing him. And look, I got gray too, so we trying to fight against it. You know what I mean? You don't need to get gray.
No. I earned these grades.
Hey, but look, once again, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna jump off. I gotta jump in the car, but I'm gonna be listening from YouTube on the phone in the car. I just want to be able to get on, man. I appreciate y'all. Okay. Ryan, you already know how we rock. You already know you my guy, man. Hey, I appreciate all y'all, man. I catch up with y'all.
Yeah. Appreciate
pleasure,
you,
man.
Thank you. Yo,
man, look who's
flying into the building.
Oh.
It's been a long time since we seen this cat in the damn cage. Hey, I listen. I actually broke your plate and threw it in the garbage can because I didn't know if you existed anymore. We got Mr. Marcus Washington in the building today. Mr. Marcus Washington. Marcus Washington, everybody.
He's been on fire. I have been listening.
Oh, y'all think I'm that? I mean, Marcus.
What's going on with y'all, man?
Man, I listened to the show last night.
Well,
man.
you got the
Good show,
depression face right now, don't you? You look, you hide
Hey.
your face.
Well, I'm driving right. I'm driving right now, man. Listen, I'm on the get this man up out of here train, full steam ahead. Here's one of the main reasons people keep talking about continuity and putting Penix in another system. Bro, Penix has 3 games after Carolina. He's got 3 games under his belt. You get Raheem out of here. You get the offensive coordinator out of here. He's got a whole offseason to learn not only a newer system, but a better system. Zach Robinson's system is utter trash. It's utter trash. It's utter. I'm just being honest. I'm being honest, right? The head coach we got, dude, people are talking about what he did last night wasn't a fireable offense. This ain't the first time he's done this. And last time I checked, over there in Chicago, there was a similar situation about a month ago. They got that coach up out the paint the next day.
Yep.
You can't have this type of malpractice. Dude, if he would have did this in the first 2 games, okay, whatever. This man did this in prime time in a potential playoff birthing game. When everybody, whether you think it's fireball or not, everybody was screaming at the TV, call the damn timeout. And this man's excuse last night, I heard his press conference. I don't buy that for a bit. That man had 24 hours to come up with some garbage.
Amen.
He didn't say that last night. But all of a sudden, it's X's and O's. Man, stop with that.
Good PR, Marcus. Good PR.
Marcus, you know what? No.
No, that's not good PR.
I'm gonna put this out.
Yeah, PR director.
Marcus, I got you on this. When I said this morning, when I did the show bumper to bumper this morning, right? I said these timeouts that he got is just like you trying to take money and values into the grave with you. Guess what? You can't use it. So you gotta use it while you here. So again, you can bury it with you. You can take it on the plane with you. But guess what? It means not a hill of beans now that the game is over with. Them 2 timeouts still in your back pocket.
Ryan, here's the crazy part, Ryan. In the 3rd quarter, this man called a timeout for no reason.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I'm like, let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. When Mooney catches that ball, that's a timeout.
Yes.
He said, nah, I thought they could get to the line a lot faster. But in the 3rd quarter, when nobody asked for a timeout, you just say, hey, I need a timeout right now. Bro, listen, nothing is going to change. The man has a 21-38 record as a head coach.
Thank you.
At this point, the way he gamed us harder than Kirk Cousins did. Because at least Kirk had a good season last year before he tore his ACL. Raheem ain't never been good.
Come on.
So I'm like, I don't know what he said in that interview that got him this job.
He smiled.
But he conned us.
Remember,
and to say that
with Rich McKay, that's how he got it, Marcus.
Dude, to say he will get better next year, I'm gonna put this to rest. Arthur Smith didn't get more than 7 wins, and he was here for 4 years. Yep. So we talk about continuity. We had a guy here for 4 years. Nothing really changed. So you think that this offensive coordinator is going to get better with his playbook all of a sudden? We're finding out that the defensive coordinator since the bye has had help. But we've been saying this man's had help basically all year with halftime adjustments. So now we're finding out, Raheem been helping him out. He's been more active in the defense after he said he was going to be hands off. So that lets you know Jimmy Gray ain't ready to be a defensive coordinator. Let you know that right off top. So how about we do this? How about we go get a competent head coach? How about we get a competent OC? How about we go get a competent DC?
Oh, that sounds great.
Marcus, you got one on the bench that they handcuffing with Jerry Gray because you saw the difference of the defense when Jerry Gray was calling it. Think about it.
Let me tell you,
generating sacks. Come on,
let me tell you what I would do right now. Right now, Pete Carroll won a job right now. Right? He's already campaigning. He's already campaigning for the Chicago job. Probably ain't gonna get that. Right? Go grab Pete Carroll, bona fide winner. You know what he can do as a coach, and I get Eric Bieniemy as your offensive coordinator. He need a job right now. And last time I checked, Kansas City just scored 30 points. All season they've been struggling on offense. When Bieniemy was there, they didn't have a problem. So you think Eric Bieniemy couldn't do nothing with this team, with this quarterback as an OC? Nobody can sit here and tell me with Eric Bieniemy and Pete Carroll, they're any worse than what we got right now.
I mean, I'll ask you this question. Marcus. If Bieniemy was so great as the OC, why did he have no job offers from any team this past season or the seasons before?
Well, dude, think about this though. Eric Bieniemy wasn't getting jobs on a Super Bowl team.
Yep.
Their offense was top 10. He wasn't getting a job then. And then he actually had to go from one offensive coordinator position to another to see if he can upgrade to a head coaching gig. Meanwhile, we got guys like Raheem Morris as our head coach. What the hell has Raheem Morris done? Raheem Morris has been on one Super Bowl team. People forget what the hell he did with the Rams.
Wait a minute, Marcus. I got something for you. Think about this. He didn't build that defense. I've been saying this for weeks.
Wade Phillips
built that defense. A lot of people didn't know that until I spoke that on this show. And I said, think about it. Wade Phillips has built multiple championship type defenses. Hell, you go back to his day. I'm serious, fam. Wade Phillips was competent, and he built that defense that Raheem just walked in and just sat in, and all he did was just stand on the sideline. He ain't coached them boys; they was already set.
But think about this, fam. We got to have a head coach that's had some type of success since Jim Moore, first time HC, right? Then we get Bobby Petrino. He leaves during the damn season, goes back to college. Then we get Mike Smith. That's his first bite at the apple. Then we get Dan Quinn. That's his first bite at the apple. Then we get Arthur Smith. That's his first bite at the apple. Then we get Raheem Morris back, who we let go to get Arthur Smith.
Yeah, and actually the third head coaching job, actually, technically.
So, bro, when you look at it, and I'm telling y'all this right now, y'all roll with Raheem if y'all want to. Next year we're gonna have these same issues.
Yep.
And the reason why it's a fireable offense last night, that ain't Raheem Morris's first time as a head coach. That's his third time being a head coach between Tampa Bay and the interim tag that we gave him. That there's no excuse for that man to sit there, take those timeouts, and take him to the house and put him in the refrigerator. There's no reason whatsoever.
No, you're right. Hey, Will, we're gonna have to rotate.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, we'll see you a little later. Thank you for coming through. All right, so Marcus is definitely cooking. Marcus, we're gonna keep you here for a second.
Cooking.
Because you cooking right now, bro.
I mean, I'm waiting.
Look, C-Dub started this mess.
I walked in,
you started
Ryan.
this mess.
Hey, look,
and Marcus came out of nowhere. This man done been on the back of milk cart. This man done been in my listen.
Marcus
This
and
joker
Ron,
was
we're
a
like the
prisoner
NWO.
of this.
We've been
hold
here.
up. Marcus was a prisoner of YouTube war. He is a prisoner of YouTube war. He's been hidden. So it is what it is at this point. You got him out the chains.
Hey man, like last night when I went live, I actually had to calm myself down because the level of disgust. And think about it, the defense absolutely wet the bed in the third quarter. They were on the field the majority of it. Now the offense went 3 and out, which again unacceptable, but it is what it is. They still had an opportunity to win the game at the end. And the reason why I'm giving Raheem Morris all the blame is even though Michael Penix, he overshot a couple of guys, which, I mean, it's his second game. It's his second game, and it's a pressure game. It's not a freebie. It's, we got to win this in order to keep our playoff chances alive, rookie. So it was a pressure game, and he got to the point to where he tied the game, throwing to all people, Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
All people, he threw it to Kyle Pitts, and it was a dime, right? And the fact that your coach, not only is this fireable, think about who he let down. Not only the fans, but you have a rookie quarterback that if you would have called a timeout, it would have actually been beneficial to him. It would have been beneficial to your kicker who's been on 3 teams in a calendar year, because at least you can get him closer. Raheem said, damn all of that. I'm going to hold on to these timeouts because, you know, they're better than gold, and they don't work for y'all, but I can take them to the house and do something with them. I don't know. This is why this is a fireable offense. On top of this, y'all remember the mission was the playoffs, not 9 wins, not 8 wins. It was the playoffs.
We're gonna get
he didn't come to, dude, he did not come to a rebuild. He came to a team that was playoff ready. So much so that they gave $180 million to a bridge quarterback in Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry. If you don't make the playoffs, you should be one and done, because we already had you as an interim, bruh. You weren't good enough for them to hire then. They went with another first-time head coach over you. And now you get a second chance, and this is what you do. So to me, there's no justification of keeping him. Well, you know, you don't want the rookie to start out with a new anything. Well, guess what? If he comes out and does the same thing next year, they're gonna fire him next year, and they're gonna put new coordinators there. So he's gonna be starting with something fresh anyway. Well, I would rather.
What his words was, he said, "We're gonna outrun the South. We're gonna win the division." Remember, he said that when he first got here.
Yeah. Remember
he said that, and we laughed because we said, "Don't write a check your ass can't cash." But hold up, hey. I gotta let Kool-Aid jump in because he's been patiently waiting. I got you I'm coming back to you, and then we got Ron, and then we coming right back to you. Kool-Aid, what's up, man?
Hey, man, what's up, fellas? Hey, man, anybody here hit thumbs up, man? Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'm gonna say it like that so we get historian, going. Hey, check this out, guys. I said it when I first came in at the beginning of the year. Fontenot built a Lamborghini. His biggest mistake was that he let his little 13-year-old buddy drive. When he hired, the biggest mistake he made was hiring Raheem and his first-time coordinator, offensive coordinator, and first-time defensive coordinator.
Well,
hey, this is what I said. If an organization want to win, you got to go get the coach with the resume. When the Braves want to win, who they went and got? Bobby Cox. What he showed on his resume. I get you to the World Series, but I can't win. But out of Bobby Cox, you got 14 straight divisional championship, 3 or 4 World Series appearances, and a win, and a World Series win. The Atlanta Braves' first World Series win. If the organization wouldn't have done that and did it by resume, we wouldn't have got there. Guess what Atlanta United said they're going to do? We're going to go get one of the best international coaches to start out with our soccer team. It took him 2 years to get us a championship.
And Kool-Aid, guess who's in charge of the Atlanta United out of all people?
Rich McKay.
Your general manager, Rich McKay of the Falcons.
Yeah, but Rich McKay has a decent background when he was over there with Tampa, in a sense. I don't know what he's doing here. I don't know because Rich McKay, he don't play like he's a manager / or whatever he calls CEO or whatever he is in the organization. I'm not sure what he is. but he not
pretty much the president of operations.
Yeah, the president of the operation, and so therefore he still had to get a manager to start to try to make some decisions. So up on him with the Falcons, and I know, so he going back and forth. But even though Rich McKay did that, he still he did what he had to do with the Atlanta United. He got the right coach. Now with the Falcons, Fontenot, it came down to Fontenot. I don't know what was the fight between him and Belichick them when they had Belichick in their hand. I don't know what happened between that fight. I thought we had him when he was taken out on the yacht.
That happened in the front office. Belichick was gonna clean house. That was what was gonna happen.
But
and Rich McKay's job was gonna be gone. That's the reason they didn't get him. And Arthur Blank,
but see,
Paid other job.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing when you get a coach that's a winning coach, he gonna be aggressive. He gonna want to take charge. That's how they win. When Georgia wanted to win a championship, who they went and got? They went and got Kirby.
Yep.
You know why they went and got Kirby? Because he was up on the stadium for how long? 5 years.
Oh, he was up on the stadium a lot longer than that.
It was 9
Okay, 5 years longer than
he was up on the stadium for 9 years.
But y'all get my point.
You got to get somebody who's groomed. I know
what you're talking about. You got to go get the coach with the resume.
He clean. He like, I want this, I want that, I want this. I'm trying to build this. I want to. It ain't right. Yeah, I remember.
You see what I'm saying? So if you don't go get the coach with the resume, then you're not going to win. It's just like with the Hawks coach, Quinn. Hawks coach, one thing about his resume is that he's a 50 to a 61 game winner during regular season.
Yep.
Dang, is he not starting to tip on that?
He's good.
Slowly moving toward that.
Thank God.
Now with Trae Young as his superstar, they might just tip it in and get one. But you see it. You see that 50 games starting to show. Hey, he might just look up and get it this year. You just never know.
Hey, Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, they laughed at us when because me and you on We Talk Hawks TV, and we were the ones who said, and this was before the season started. DeMar laughed at me. I said, they gonna get 47 or better. I said that. And I got laughed at. And you told me just like this. You said, don't worry, go ahead and drink that Kool-Aid, because what's gonna happen is if they get them wins, you pretty much all you gotta do is just sit back because Trey got help. And what's getting ready to happen now? Penix is gonna get some help. Let's just be real, because guess what? I clamored for Kadero Hodge. I wanted Hodge to do his thing. He had too many crucial drops last night, and that kind of hurt. I was mad because he had ball in his hands.
Hurt my pull for him too. Yeah, that hurt my pull for him too.
But I'm gonna give you this here, and then we got to pass this to Run, and then we gonna open this thing back up again.
Well, I'm gonna say the last part. Right,
go ahead.
Quick. So as for the Falcons, man, the ownership right now got to make a decision. Either they want to win now or win later. They want to win now, and they are serious about winning. They got to let the coaching staff go. That's my opinion.
What part of the coaching staff are you letting go, and what part are you
got to let all of it go.
Bye.
You let the head coach go, cut the head off, and cut off everything with it. You don't bring about no first time offensive coordinator. If you want to win, you can't play around like that.
The only person that you can actually keep that's on this thing, and we all said it, was Jerry Gray, because that's the only one that's respected in that locker room, and they play for that dude. That's one guy, and he should have been a DC. But Jimmy Lake came in because of nepotism. Jerry Gray was supposed to be the DC. I said this a long time ago. I was pissed when they brought in Jimmy Lake. Everybody on this panel will tell you that. Everybody on this panel will tell you that. Because I said, Jerry Gray has been a proven defensive
when you go get that coach that want to win, he going to make the decision what he want and how he going to do it and how he going to structure it. And if Gray, if he see Gray as that person, he'll keep Gray. If Gray ain't that person, Gray ain't that person.
Yeah. I agree with you on that, Kool-Aid, but we all said it. The reason why we said you bring Gray in here because you got a familiar face. He was a part of that defense that actually was a top 10 defense and the number one defense in the red zone. He literally built that. Ryan Nielsen was a first-time DC, and he leaned heavy on Jerry Gray. And the thing that Jerry Gray can relate to his players that a lot of DCs can't, Jerry Gray was a first-round pick. Jerry Gray was a Pro Bowler. Jerry Gray's got Hall of Famers that he's coached, and the man has won as a DC. So, again, you got somebody that's got the pedigree and that's been proven. So that's why I'm saying you don't get rid of him. That's a guy that you don't get rid of. That is a guy that's your elder statesman in that locker room that can literally get these guys and galvanize these guys. Because think about it, Kool-Aid. When have you seen our cornerbacks play this well since Dan Quinn's left? Honestly. AJ locked up one of the best receivers in the league last night. Minus the missed tackle he had on the one. He locked up Scary Terry last night.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. When have we seen AJ really lock folks down? Nobody's talking about AJ, and AJ has been balling this year.
Yeah, he had a hell of a bounce back year.
Exactly. So, Ryan, what you got, man? I'm sorry, we've been having
After he got the money.
Yeah. I like what y'all said about Gray, but I really gotta get Chet Smith because we have a hard problem finding pass rushers and building pass rushers. If you look at what Baltimore doing over there, every year they build pass rushers. No, they will not keep them because they're like, we need to get another one to do the same thing. Because why? They got one of the best pass rushers over there that play the game, Chuck Smith. And we have a hard time building pass rushers, finding pass rushers. Let that sink in. We had Ted McKinsley, bust. We had Vic Beasley, bust. So you go get the granddaddy that build pass rushers, bring him home.
I mean, you said that, Ron.
Pass rushers. Atlanta, but Ron, Atlanta wouldn't even give a job to Terrence Mathis, who is one of the greatest receivers in this Falcons organization.
Right.
Yep.
This man had to go to Morehouse. No disrespect to the house, but they wouldn't even give this man a job. And this man is helping receivers catch passes. I can tell you right now.
Right.
Young guys he's getting put into college. And he works with some pro players too.
Right.
So again, it's a bitter pill to swallow when you think two of your greatest players in your franchise, you won't even give them jobs.
Right.
And they actually work with guys on the offseason.
Right.
Yeah, but-
I've been saying it. Why we let our own go somewhere else?
Politics.
I mean, politics.
All right.
Because we don't even
But
draft Georgia players like that.
What you got, C-Dub?
Okay, sometimes you gotta be like, you know what? Forget those politics. I know what this do all about.
All right, look, to the people of Joe that want to be patient and deal with long suffering, let me talk to you. You don't have to deal with long suffering. Falcon fans can expect more. It's not a punishment. Do not be willed into the falsification of the Arthur Smith and the Raheem drama. What I'm saying is this. When we talked about coaches, I actually said some names. I would look at Ben Johnson. But before I said Ben Johnson, I also said Steve Wilkes, Mike Vrabel. I even said James Cardwell. And you know what's funny? Everybody wants to tell me about the, like Marcus said, about the, oh, well, we need camaraderie. We want people to work well together. Let me ask you, was Raheem all about building up Michael Penix in the preseason? If I remember, he sat his butt down after one game and said, we saw what we need. Didn't play any of the starters. Guess what, y'all? That's going to happen again next year. Stop with this, glazing of raw. He's not the guy. He obviously has this flaw. He might be a great defensive mind as a DC, but not a head coach. He wants to come in here and do the Christian pose. He wants to point at Torrey McElhaney, point over at D, kiss out, Dukes and Bell, tell him how much he loves them, smile, because you always got to smile, and talk about how they're going to be physical. He's going to start tap dancing like the great Gregory Hines, and y'all are going to be like, oh, we got to have this. And then you go, well, what did he say? I don't know. I just saw him dance. That's Raheem Morris. And here's what I'm saying.
Marcus, you care to chime in on that part of it? Because he definitely set you up.
Well, yeah, man, I would say, when you look at guys like Steve Wilkes, Vrabel, both of these guys are better coaches than Raheem Morris. Steve Wilkes, people have been defensive of Steve Wilkes because he's been let go from teams. I remember, where was he at? Was it Carolina?
It was Carolina. He took Matt Rule and had them one game away from the playoffs.
And the
when they were dead in the water.
Wrong. Kyle Shanahan
Yeah, so it's when you look at guys like that, he reminds me of Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith always got a raw deal also. But when you look at those names, Mike Vrabel, he was proven in Tennessee. Raheem has not been proven anywhere to get this type of rope. He hasn't. Had this been Mike Vrabel, I can almost guarantee you a timeout would have been called when Mooney caught that ball. These are just coaching blunders you can't have. And to Steve, the exact parallel from Eberflus when he did this, and he got fired the very next day. That's malpractice as a coach. And he did this, and Chicago wasn't even on the radar making the playoffs. This is the game we had to have. And he did this, and his first reaction to it is, I thought they can get down there faster. And I'm like, Coach, that's why you use the timeout, so you don't even have to worry about that.
Real quick.
So they can be rested and not out of breath when they get down there.
Well, not just that, but
that right there just made no sense.
What do these guys on defense think? I wish Coach Cam was here. I would love to ask him, because right there, your defense played their butts off. Everybody gave a shot to this offense to actually try to win this game right here, right now. And they just see their coaches looking at the clock. Like Johnny Bench.
Here's the thing. As old people would say, common sense ain't so common. A young fool will always be an old fool.
But Ryan, that's why people are kind of looking back, and now you can't go get Belichick because he's down in college, right?
Oh,
yeah. That was your proven.
But Marcus, a lot of people were still, and this is the thing, and we talked about this.
Yeah.
The problem was people were still in their feelings about what happened with that Super Bowl. I don't care. It sucks we lost, but when you got a chance to bring in a guy, and I had this argument, I said, look, if it ain't Steve Wilkes, you got a chance to bring in a guy who knows how to win, you bring him in. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
Hey,
you got to bring him in.
That old saying, if you can't beat him, join him. That's a perfect line for that. But I'm looking at a guy right now who wants to coach. Proven track record. This man was winning with Geno Smith. Amen. This man was winning with Geno Smith, for crying out loud. And the way he got cut loose was kind of cold-blooded in Seattle also. But I'm like, he's got a proven track record on the collegiate and the pro level. Exactly. Like, nobody can sit here and make an argument to me that we should keep Raheem Morris. If I got both guys in the room, let's do this like Squid Games. Let's do this like Squid Games. After every round, there's an X and an O, and you get 300 people, and you say, hey, listen, would you rather have Pete Carroll? I can almost guarantee you everybody's hitting that O button. I can guarantee, because they know what he comes from. And guys will run through a brick wall for Pete Carroll. I don't think at this point, guys are running through Cottonelle toilet paper for Raheem Morris after the night.
Oh, not
or after last night. I'm being
about it. Grady Jarrett let everybody know he was pissed last night, Marcus. Too.
Oh yeah, even beyond pissed.
Oh, he let everybody know about that. Kool-Aid, you muted, man, if you was trying to speak.
Dude, it's think about all the players. Just they played 4 quarters of ball and they busted their ass. Right? AJ had an awesome game. Caden Ellis comes through with the pick. Ebike's all over the place. Bijan has a good game. Penix drives down there, gives you a touchdown to tie the damn game. And think about how dejected they have to feel when their coach is actively sabotaging them. Now, they're not going to come out and publicly say, hey, man, we got to get this guy out the paint. He ain't the guy. But when Michael Penix was asked about him, Michael Penix let everybody know, hey, that's on coach. That's coach's decision. He let everybody know. And this is a rookie. Hey, listen, you know, we trust coach. And he put that squarely on now. Again, people say, well, you know, Raheem took accountability for it. But I'm like, what else was he supposed to do? Well, I mean, honestly, what was he supposed to do? Come out and say, man, you know what? I'm gonna stick.
It don't fix the win.
I'm gonna stick by what I said, man. I thought they can get downfield in like 3 seconds. You know, I really thought that, you know, I had speedsters.
I pressed the triangle button. I didn't know why they weren't.
Think about this, man, Marcus. And it was something you said, and it just made me think. And a lot of people don't know this about Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll was responsible for being one of the first coaches to discover the legendary Bruce Smith when he was an assistant at North Carolina State. A lot of people don't know that. If you live around that Tidewater area, Pete Carroll stayed within that area and grabbing talent when he was at NC State. Pete Carroll understands how to identify talent. The only reason Bruce Smith didn't go to NC State was because of the fact that his dad suffered from a disease. That is why he went to Virginia Tech, because he wanted to be closer to home. But Pete Carroll has always been able to get talent. And if you look at all the players that he coached, hell, I got to meet one of them in the airport when I came home for the BirdCage party. Bruce Irvin, everybody that he's had on that team were troubled players. Marshawn Lynch was a troubled guy. Richard Sherman was a troubled guy. Bruce Irvin was a troubled guy. Bobby Wagner. He was able to coach guys that were not church boys. That is something else Atlanta got to get rid of. What's up, Ryan?
The problem is Raheem trying to be buddy with everybody. I don't want you to be my friend. I don't like you like that, dog. If I do something wrong, tell me I do something wrong. Then pat me on the back later on. But to then, don't try to be my friend. Don't smile in my face. Raheem Morris, a car salesman. You know you got a putt. You know it a P-shirts. And you know it won't get you from point A to point B.
Damn.
But you still going to sell it to me?
Kool-Aid, what's up?
Hey, you know, I always hear LeBron James when he got his coach fired. He said, I changed it. I don't have to bring that up. And the next year he got him fired. And the reason I'm saying that, because Raheem, what he did in this game, his players that has the mind, understand football, they know he messed up. That's how a coach loses the locker room. When you have players on there you know why they probably didn't run down the field, because they go like, oh, coach gonna call the timeout. Oh, that's gonna be the first hesitation in your mind. You on that football field, you playing with him. That first hesitation in your mind after that catch, you know you went through all this. Your first hesitation gonna be like, either you take off and run, like, did he practice that? Did he practice that we sprint down there, or did you practice where it took common sense to call the timeout? If I was on there, I was like, oh, coach finna call the timeout and everybody get together so we can get ready to set up that next play.
I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, what is he doing?
You got
you almost slipped and said it. I heard
you. Yeah.
Hey, he slipped and said it, boy.
Start doing his nails. We got this.
Hey, and did y'all not look at B. John on the bench? How he was sitting over there just getting restless?
Bijan, I'm gonna tell you right now, he looked restless on the camera.
That's how you lose the locker room. When you know you were turning out, you were hyped the first half,
Yep.
And the only thing the coach can come and give you 2 dives.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Pharaoh,
Hold on.
wait a minute.
You know,
Pharaoh.
we have a game next Sunday.
Pharaoh, you say, so here's the thing. You say we don't know he lost the locker room. I'm going to tell you this from being a former player. He lost the locker room with the dumb decisions that he's made. It's not just this game. It's been all season. Because think about it. He's going to have to earn their trust back next year. And that's going to be very tough because once you, it's just like being in any relationship. Once you lose that trust, it's hard to come back from it. It takes a lifetime sometimes to get that trust back. And think about it. The worst game that we ended up losing was to a 2-7 New Orleans Saints team. That right there started the trajectory. Outside of that Seattle loss, that started the trajectory. So if you look at it from from standing still and just watching, you look at the body language of the players. When you're seeing them come off the field on the 4th and 2, 4th and 3, like really you was going for 4th and 2 and 4th and 3 all season. Now you don't trust us in a game like this to make plays. It's a lot of BS that has gone on. What's up, Ryan?
But I'm gonna ask you who you think will say it to Raheem. Do you think Grady Jarrett will speak up? Hey, dog.
It's gonna be behind closed doors, and nobody's gonna know who says what. Because let's be real, the only person on this defense, or really on this team, that's got the cojones to actually step up and say something is Jesse Bankhead Bates. Let's be real on that. That's the one dude who can run his mouth because he's performed since he stepped foot off the plane into Atlanta, and he's got the clout to walk up to Raheem and say, man, what the hell are you doing? We out here killing ourselves, and you're giving up all the things that we work for. Pharaoh, you're not going to hear that. You're saying that you need to hear that or see that from him. Pay attention to the body language. It's easy to see. It's easy to see because Grady Jarrett showed it last night on the camera. Jesse Bates showed it walking off the field dejected last night. It was a lot of little things you got to pay attention to. The media is not going to show everything. You got to watch. Because I can tell you, they don't trust him.
Hey, Marcus had a really great post about Raheem Morris beating a cheating wife.
Oh yeah, man. It's similar, man. It's if you're gonna roll with Raheem Morris, it's like having a cheating spouse. You know, sooner or later they gonna mess around again. You already know this. So at that point, it's your fault. So when I say that, I'm talking directly to the brass. I'm talking directly to the fans that are sitting here talking about how this is a 2-year deal. No, it's not. The mission was the playoffs. That was how we go from the playoffs to this takes time to build. Huh? How? I'm not understanding that right there.
Marcus, I said this at the beginning of the season. And it was people that came on here where you got to trust the process. It's people that were saying all this stuff. And I'm like, yo, you don't have time to figure this out. You got to either make it happen or it's not going to happen.
Process.
Think about it. You know what the process was? You know what the process was, right? The process was to win with Kurt his first year and let him play for 2 years and then win again with Penix. That was the concept of the process.
And then,
but like I said,
cousin got old.
You know what? Everybody want to blame Kurt, but it ain't. It's all Kurt. It's the rookie coaches.
If you've been in here already, we only doing one go around tonight. Been in already. We only doing one go around. So we got to rotate. No, you good. We getting ready to rotate because T Will's gonna be the last one we let up in here because we've gone actually a little longer than what I thought we were gonna go tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and let T Will jump on this, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up. And you know what? I'm gonna have some parting words with Mr. Washington, Pastor Washington, or whatnot. The traveling evangelist. That's look, we got the traveling evangelist right
cooking.
Yo, we got look. Listen, we got to have. You know how to go at the church. You got the visiting preacher that had the final words, and the regular minister that's gonna have a prayer. But you know what? We got T Will coming into the building right now, a preacher's kid, as we all know. But you know what? You gotta watch him because that joke is slick as a duck without wings. I'm just messing with
Will
you,
for you,
What's
baby.
up, man?
What's
Go
going
on.
on, everybody? Hey, look at you.
T Will, I got us in trouble again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know you were up to no good, and I think I saw Ron in here. So Ron, what's up, man? And hey, hello to everybody. To those of you I haven't met, nice to meet you all.
Pleasure.
I don't know that I would necessarily fire Raheem just because it's the first year, but I cannot argue against the points that were made, right? So if you want to say why you should fire him, I can't argue that. Because and his performance has not just been the clock management. I look at it in three phases. Number one, the defense. You waited way too long to institute your changes. You instituted your change after the bye when we're 7 and whatever we are. It was way too late. You should have instituted that change after the first loss, or at least the second one. You should have had a conversation. We all saw this coming. Even when we were winning, we were saying, guys, it's just a matter of time. This bend but don't break is not going to work. So on your play calling and your game planning, that's a failure, right? That's one. Two, personnel. You waited way too long to pivot from Kurt. Way too long. Way too long. That's another one, right? That's two. And then number three, in spite of all of that, last night we make this miraculous comeback, right? And I think somebody mentioned it. Penix makes the throw to Kyle Pitts of all people. Talk about irony.
That was Marcus.
I almost took that as a sign from God that this was meant to be. We have tied the game. It is 24-24. They go 3 and out. We get the ball back. Michael Penix makes a great throw with 33 seconds, and you don't call a timeout. And let me get this right.
He had to save those timeouts, bro.
You miss a kick. You knew the guy's range was 53 yards at best. You know this going in, and you don't call a timeout. So again, look it. I don't know that I would necessarily fire Raheem, but I cannot argue against the logic. My only question is,
you get fired.
Who are you gonna get to replace him? Because where I don't agree that you should just bring anybody in here, right? I don't agree that just because coaches have won, because of Belichick, nobody was gonna hire him, and that was for a reason. Okay, you can say what you want to. He ran when Tom Brady left. He ran the Patriots into the ground. So don't even bring him up. All right, that's because guess what? Nobody else won. Right? It wasn't the Falcons were the only team that interviewed him. Nobody else wanted him. That's for a reason. If it's me and you got to bring in somebody, all of your weapons are on offense. Why not bring in an offensive coach like C-Dub, the guy you were talking about from Detroit, Bobby Slower, Bobby Johnson, whoever. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Pete Carroll. But the thing you have to remember is you're not going to have Algier forever. You're not going to have Pitts forever. So these weapons
Pitts might be gone next year. Hell.
No, Algier might be gone next year.
We've signed him. So he's signed him next year. We could trade him. But my point is, you're not going to have these weapons that you have on offense forever. So even though you may bring in a new coach, you lose time that you can't make up. So if you're really going to make a run at this thing, you got to bring in somebody that can take this offense and go, right? That's my only point. I can't argue against firing him. I won't argue against firing him because it makes sense. I don't necessarily want it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I cannot argue against all the arguments that you guys have made because they're valid. And with that, gentlemen, hey, I got nothing else. Thank you for having me.
Wait a minute. You made an argument. Right. Wait a minute, T. Will. You ain't finna just throw a rock and get the hell up out of here. It don't work like that.
That's what he does.
Bring your ass back over here. You
and let me pat me the ball guy.
You argued against Bill Belichick.
I did.
And I get why you're saying that, but here's my thing. When have we really ever had a competent front office? When have we really ever had a competent scouting department in Atlanta? So, and I'm gonna give you another thing. I said Ryan Grubb, the guy who worked with Penix while he was at Washington. Washington. That is a guy that's in the NFL right now that you could have brought in to help the passing offense because he understands Penix's strengths and weaknesses and definitely can call a passing game. It's a little different on the NFL level. I get it, but he's doing his thing in the league right now. So Ben Johnson, yes, it would be nice, but you got to remember, he's had how many years with Jared Goff? 3, right? He's had 3 years with that offense. That's the reason they're humming. Y'all keep saying Ben Johnson, but understand it takes 3 years to implement that offense he runs.
Okay, Ryan. But here's the thing: sometimes it's also that perfect match. And think about it: if Ben Johnson was to leave, he's looking at: do I have a quarterback? Number one. Oh, I have a running back. Do I have receiver? Oh, I have this line. I can work with it. I'm just saying, it's not that far-fetched to look at the Falcons and go, he could look at it and go, I can work with that. That's all I'm saying. And I still say I like James Cardwell. I like Byron. There are other guys out there.
C-Dub, I want you to really sit back and think. Please don't take this the wrong way.
I'm not.
Okay.
I still love you. We still boys. We can play PS5 later.
But at this moment right now, you ain't my partner because you talking foolishness right now.
Really?
Damn it. Yeah. You got to understand it takes 2 years for an offense to get implemented. You got to learn it in the first year. You're not going to have the speed of the game down. The second year is the year that you get traction. So if you bring this man in here, you're going to have 2 years that Penix is going to have to learn a whole new offense. You're going to have 2 years. The blocking, wait a minute. The blocking scheme. But wait a minute. The blocking scheme has to come together for number one. You got to get a right tackle that's going to protect your quarterback's blind side. So again, when you sit back and you look at this whole situation, it is a 2-year development with a new offense. A brand new offense. Next year, the offense should be humming because guess what? Everybody was in it for 1 year and they already understand the concept of it.
So
and time lost is what you're not looking at.
So is this all okay? So
that's why I wouldn't fire him. That right?
Okay, so the thing. So the reason why I got you, Pantheon. You want to know the reason why? Jaden Daniels played in the exact same type of offense at LSU while he was there with what's the guy's name? He actually helped win a national championship with LSU.
Joe Brady's coaching
Joe Brady. Before Joe Brady went to the league, that was the same offense that Cliff Kingsbury runs. So they come off of that tree. That is the reason why it didn't take him that long to learn that offense. That whole offense just had different terms, but it's exactly the same offense he ran at LSU. That is why it didn't take him that long. But it generally takes 2 years for a whole offense to be in sync. It's not just the quarterback. You got to look at your running backs. You got to look at your O-line. Hold on, Chris. Hold on, C-Dub. You got to look at your O-line. You have to look at your pass protection, and you have to also look at your side adjustments. There are so many intricate parts that you have to have for that to work. It doesn't just work with the quarterback. But if you think that, if you like it, I love it, homie. So next, what you got?
No. What I was saying is, I'm looking at coaches that can work with what they have. Okay, and all I'm saying is, if Ben Johnson, or let's just say a guy that's going to be a head coach option. Okay, like let's just say Steve Wilkes, and he brings his guy. What I'm saying is, shouldn't the coach look at what they have and go, what can we do to adapt this team so they can be the best prepared to play the system we need? That's what I'm saying, because every time we look at all these coaches, all I hear is they need to fit our scheme. They need to fit our scheme. And these guys can't even fit a dang square peg into a round hole. So and this is what we've been dealing with for the past 4 to 5 years now. And we have been mid. All I'm saying is sometimes you gotta shake things up. And I'm just saying.
Go
ahead.
I hear you, but to Ryan's point, and guys, this was my trepidation with this, right? You only got Algier for what, 2 more years? You gotta re-sign Drake. Is it 1 more year?
Got him for one. We only really got him for 1 more year because he's been here for 3.
For 1 more year. You got to re-sign Drake in 26. So realistically, if you bring in a new guy, and by the time these guys are getting ready to leave, they're going to know the system. You're not going to re-sign them all. That's my point. That's as stupid as this is going to sound, and it's going to sound ridiculous. That is the main reason I wouldn't fire Raheem. Now, I would put some guardrails around. I would be like, hey, if you're going to keep Zach Robinson, we need to get his ass in Obi-Wan Kenobi. We need to get somebody in here that can help him grow and quickly. And I would as a GM, I would demand that, look, you got to get a competent guy in here for defense, or call it yourself. One of the two, right? But the reason, and look, this isn't a perfect world, and I'm not even saying I'm happy about it. But look at, guys, this is the NFL. The reason this hurts so much to me personally is because I really felt like if we got into the playoff, this team could have gone on a run. Guys, our defense in the past 5 weeks is the best as far as pass rushing the quarterback in the league. Let that sink in for a sec.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a defense that you're not going to pass on us, or if you are, you're going to give up at least 3 sacks. Michael Penix has this offense coming. That's why it hurts so bad. But honestly, next year, I think if you got the same cast of characters, we're going to come out cooking. Now, can you get rid of somebody? You can. I'm not saying that. I want you guys to know I'm not committed either way. I'm just giving you the reasons for and the reasons against. The reason against is because, hey, this is the day after. We're all a little emotional. But when you talk about bringing in a new coach, Ryan made a very, very good point. Even when Kyle Shanahan was here, we weren't great that first year. It took us 2 years to learn it, right? So, in other words, you bring a new coach in next year. By the time Algier leaves, by the time Kyle leaves, by the time it's time to pay Drake, and I think you're going to pay Drake,
you got to.
You're not going to have the weapons you have now. You're going to be weaker offensively. Let's put it that way, right? And with that, guys, I'll shut up. Kool-Aid, you look like you got something, man. Go ahead.
Kool-Aid. It's going to be Kool-Aid and then Marcus, and we got to close this thing out, man. It's time to go.
This is my last saying, man. We got a talented football team with Pro Bowlers on it and one of the best running backs. And dang is these incompetent coaches with that talent then almost get us in the playoffs. If we had a competent coach, no telling how far we could go. That's the problem. We don't have a competent coach. Yes, let me tell you something. Arthur Blank's gonna do his thing. He's gonna be 3 years with this guy, and then he's gonna get fired. Either you fire him now, sooner than later. If you're an organization that want to win, you make decisions now. You don't play around with it. He had all the talent. You know why they look good? Because he has so much talent on this team.
He really does. I agree with you.
And I'm going to say it again. This fool went and got a first-time offensive coordinator, a first-time defensive coordinator. That just shows you how dumb he were.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
And he took this talent, and just off talent alone, we would have been 10 or 12 wins. You could see it from the beginning, the very first freaking game.
Yeah.
So therefore, if you're an organization, you're a fan base that want to win, you cannot have all this talent and Pro Bowlers on your team. Just like you said, these guys, it's like, you have these guys, you get them in place, and you only have this window to win with them before those contracts come up. We done messed up those contracts by giving an incompetent coaching staff already.
Yeah, that's a good point. But
you know what? Kool-Aid, how you always say it?
You gotta just bite that bitter pill. If you're a real organization that want to win, cut right now and try to get those wins up into that third year of those contracts and see if you can win with that. That's my point right there.
Yeah.
I want you to finish your statement with what you love to say. Coaching matters.
Coaching matters.
That's
And
Kool-Aid's.
I say,
Listen, that's
am I
Kool-Aid's
saying in
statement for every
basketball?
team that he covered.
And this is what I heard. And I say this over there when they don't agree with me. Sometimes offense is defense. And in this game, if we came out in the second half and believed that, we would have took control of that second half, running your boys, using your talent, and using your strength the way this team was built, and we could have controlled that whole second half. But you know why? You had an incompetent offensive coordinator that didn't plan, and I really believe that coaching staff went in there and pooped and didn't say nothing else about making an adjustment coming out that second half.
Preach.
And they told all the other guys to go in there, go pee and poo so you can get ready to go back out and play. But coach, what we gonna do? Oh, don't worry about it. We'll just keep doing the same thing. And then I heard you know what your boy Quinn said. Guess what we gonna do? We stop BJ, we can win.
And here's the thing. Now, Jeffrey, we spoke on this. We spoke on Arthur Blank and we spoke on Rich McKay earlier in the show and said that was the big problem because guess what? Those two let a lot of stuff filter in here that didn't need to be in here. So we addressed that already at the beginning. So I got you on that. So I understand why you're saying that, but we definitely got you on that. Marcus, go ahead and take us out, my man. And T. Will, thanks for coming through. Tell the folks where they can find you before Marcus takes over, and then I have to wrap this thing up.
Yes, sir. And first and foremost, Ryan, thank you so much for having me. And look, I haven't met all you guys, but it's been a pleasure to be on the show with you. You guys are phenomenal. Kool-Aid, I've seen you. I've never heard you, man. But you had a lot of valid points. I know C-Dub, he's on my show. I'm on his. I don't know Greg Beard and I don't know K-Dub, but I'd like to get to know you guys. And Marcus, boy, you sure got some fire, man. So. And we know Ryan is the man. So he calls me a car salesman, but Ryan is the most car salesman I've ever met in my life. Like Ryan is a silver-tongued dude. But anyway, you guys can find me at One Time for the Fan. You can find me at Beard Gang. You can find me at For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube, typically there Friday evenings and Monday mornings. You guys have a great day. Ryan, again, thanks for having me, and rise up, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Will. You got some nerve calling me a silver-tongued car salesman because I'm one of the ones who keep that thing authentic. Don't do me like that. I am not Raheem Morris. Don't do me like that. Marcus, what you got to wrap this thing up, man? Because I'm getting ready to wrap it up right after you.
Man, I just say this. I'm gonna go way back to the Matrix days. Red pill, blue pill. The blue pill, you got Pete Carroll. The red pill, you got Raheem Morris. Those are the two options you got. Which one do you think most Falcons fans will take right now? Now, let me put this on the flip side. Go to Washington. Give them the same option. Pete Carroll, Dan Quinn. The majority of them will stick with Dan Quinn. You want to know why? Because in his first year, they went to the playoffs. So they'll be like, they see something there. Even though they got a generational talent in Jaden Daniels, they would stick with Dan Quinn because Dan Quinn has presented results. The reason why most people would probably pick Pete Carroll right now, not only because of last night, because this ain't the first time he's done this. And I just want people to know this. This isn't the first time Raheem Morris has messed up with clock management. This is just so dumbfounding. But if you go back and watch the entire season, he's been doing this all year. So when you have guys that are out there going to battle, and the reason they lost was because a guy who doesn't even have a damn jersey on and isn't out there taking the snaps, isn't out there blocking anybody, isn't out there taking hits, decides not to call a timeout. I'm sorry, that's not going to fly with me. I don't think that's going to change. Dude, he's got a losing. This is how bad his record is. We can go undefeated next year, and the best he can do is tie his lifetime record as a coach.
Damn.
Just let that sink in for a second. This is the guy that we picked. And now you're entering an offseason. I don't care if we make the playoff. There will never be a day where I'm rooting for the Saints. And even though if the Saints win and we win, we go to the play. There will never be a day I'm sitting there rooting for them, right? But I think the damage is done, man. The goal was playoffs. That was the mission statement. It came out of his mouth. He had all the resources.
Division title.
And here's the argument that Jimmy Lake shouldn't be here. After the bye, you look at our defense. And then the report came out yesterday that Raheem Morris has been more involved in the defense. That's your number one. Jimmy Lake shouldn't be coaching defense next year.
Thank you.
So to me, when I look at, and then there was a comparison with Kyle Shanahan in his first year as our OC. Was it better than 2016? No, but you saw promise there. You were like, yeah, you know what, man? In a year, we should be flying high. Like, I see where he's going. I don't see where Zach Robinson's going right now. I don't. All I see is pistol formation. That's it. That's all I see. I see a running back who, if this would have been any other running back, aside from Tyler Algier and Bijan, just an average running back, man, at best, he's got 500 yards for the season, 500 to 600 yards. A lot of those yards are just Bijan's talent and just how good he is as a back. But I don't think this is going to get better next year unless he completely changes. This guy's running he's running the Super Tecmo Bowl playbook right now. He hasn't even graduated to Madden. This is a Super Tecmo Bowl playbook we got.
Oh, man.
He thinks he's got Bo Jackson.
Yeah, so I'm looking. I want this. This is what I want in a nutshell, and I will shut up. If you keep Raheem Morris, and you keep Zach Robinson, and you keep Jimmy Lake, not only am I going to expect the playoffs, I'm going to expect the NFC Championship. That's what I'm going to expect, because I'm not trying to hear, oh well, we made the playoffs. We should have made it this year easily. So if you're going to keep these guys, okay, fine. I'm putting pressure, immense pressure on them, because they shouldn't be here. After this year, they should not be here, because I'm looking at better options right now. It's like going to the club and you went to the club with an ugly chick and you see all these dimes around here. Bro, I'm gonna start looking like, why the hell am I with you? Like, man, there's gorgeous girls in here. I'm looking at the offseason. Dude, the offseason, you're gonna have better candidates for anybody telling me right now. I'm sorry, I love a lot of these content creators. I love them. But if you're gonna sit here and tell me that Raheem's the best option going into 2025 and 2026 season as a head coach, bro, I am going to debate the hell out of you on this, because he hasn't done nothing. Losing record as a head coach. We didn't make the playoffs because I just don't see, dude. If Tampa loses to the Saints, one, I'm gonna smoke on the Saints pack, and I'm gonna laugh. Because they won for nothing, right? I'm gonna smoke on a Bucks pack, but at the same time, I'm gonna be like, man, it took the Saints beating Tampa in the last game of the season for us to get into the playoffs.
And that's if we beat Carolina.
Yeah, mind you, we had a three game head start.
Blood, man. Tampa Bay smell blood now for that playoff. They ain't gonna lose, boy.
Yeah, nah.
And here's the thing, Marcus.
What they try? I don't care. They ain't got to try to lay down. That 40 piece they just put up on that other team, they ain't got to try to lay down.
And I'm gonna say this.
Know what?
See,
in New Orleans is looking just like Carolina right now. Since they lost their quarterback, they're just right there like Carolina, and they bought another 30-40 piece for Tampa Bay.
So I'm gonna say this because we got to cut this thing, man, because we'll be sitting here for another whole hour and going into another hour. It'll be 2 hours long, and we went literally 45 minutes over what the hell we were supposed to go. But I'm gonna wrap this thing up.
Oh, come on. You all know you want to see our faces. Come on. We got Kool-Aid, Marcus, and the NWO versus the home team. Coach Rob's team versus, Freedom.
Hey, so no, I gotta address one comment. My man Jeffrey said the same Pete Carroll who decided to throw the ball on the 1 yard line instead of handing the ball off to Marshawn Lynch. He said no, thank you. But here's my thing. That track record is a lot better than what we have now. Would you rather be in the Super Bowl having a chance to win it? Or would you rather be sitting on the outside looking in and hoping to at least get to the playoffs at this point? Because, damn it, we haven't smelt the playoffs
in almost a decade.
Since Dan Quinn was here. That's the last time we smelt the playoffs. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's just like somebody incarcerated at this point waiting on a conjugal visit. That's literally how Falcon fans are feeling right now. And if you know what conjugal visits are, hey, more power to you. Bless you. But at the same time, this is literally how Falcon fans are feeling at this point. So with that being said, man, I definitely appreciate everybody for coming through the benediction. Everybody casted their problems on the altar. See, Marcus didn't just, I say this, the traveling preacher didn't just serve communion. Hell, he drank the MD 2020 wine before he got up in there. And you can tell because he pissed right now. It's not even, look, y'all can catch him in the parking lot sitting on the 75 Eldorado smoking a Saints pack right now for next week. I'm letting you know this now. It's just what my man doing right now. So I want y'all to go ahead and let the folks know. We're going to start with Kool-Aid, Marcus, C-Dub, you always end it with a throw. Let the folks know where you guys are. So C-Dub, Marcus, and then Kool-Aid, Marcus, C-Dub, and then we ending this thing, baby. I got dinner to get to, and I got some rest to get to. I got an early
4:30. I know.
Tomorrow. Damn Falcons cutting into my sleep time.
All right, guys.
So,
you want me to go ahead?
Go ahead.
ATL Kool-Aid drinkers. Hey, before anybody who ain't hit that thumbs up for his story right now, gonna hit that thumbs up and subscribe on the way out if you haven't done it. Hey, ATL Kool-Aid drinkers you can just pick me up on YouTube, ATL Kool-Aid drinkers, and you can catch me on We Talk Hawks TV. This is the Atlanta Hawks. Now on my channel, I talk about the Atlanta Hawks. I talk about the Braves. I also talk about Georgia Tech, Georgia, and the Atlanta Falcons. I just give my comments and my opinion, and I give some stats from time to time. But that's just about what I do, and I'm always drinking the Kool-Aid, so I always go out drinking the Kool-Aid. Hey, we still got a chance, guys. All we got to do is win. One loss on a win, we still got a chance. That's ATL Kool-Aid drinking for you.
And that's my man, always sipping that Kool-Aid. Boy, ain't nothing wrong with it because he got to have somebody up in here. Hey, what you got, Marcus?
Man, y'all can catch me on the mark on YouTube, man. We chop up good Falcons banner, and amongst other things, sometimes the conversation goes left and then we hit a highway and we talking about something completely different, man. But in the end, man, it's all about the logo. Rain, sleet, or snow, whether we make the playoffs or not, I'm still gonna be representing the red and the black. And yeah, man, let me just say this to all the content creators. I listen to y'all. So, I haven't been on here like I am tonight, but I listen to y'all, man. I listen to Smitty. Smitty don't need no more people listening to him anyway. He's got like 15,000 subscribers at this point. But Uncle Steve, man, Big Low, I listened to their stuff yesterday. Today while I was in the car, man, and we all have differences of opinion, you know what I mean? But I still respect everybody's opinion on what we need to do. Like I always say, man, we want this team to win. So whether it's keeping Raheem, which to me is a no-no, which whether we go get another coach, I don't care. I just want this team to maximize its damn potential because there's no way we got all this talent and we ain't going to the show. I'm tired. We're in the same situation we were last year.
Yeah.
Cancun on 3.
On that note, C-Dub, what you got, man? This man Cancun on 3.
Oh, that hurt.
I mean, look, first of all, you gotta listen. Look, you gotta listen to Marcus Washington. The man brought up Full Metal Jacket in one of his episodes. I'm still dying off that because that's what he expects our coaches to be like. I was rolling. And but yeah,
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah. Oh God. No. But anyway, I just got to say, if you're gonna find me, it's on C28 on YouTube, and also go to Facebook. Find me C-Double, and you'll see my page with the podcasts and stuff, and also my personal page is also there under that name, and C-Double AWTN. I'm gonna do a New Year's show, and it's gonna be at 11 a.m. But because it's with all the college football games, I wanted to go ahead and kind of beat the traffic on it. So anybody up, and look, if you're sober or if you're drunk, still come over because you know what? I don't give a damn. We like to talk football. We talk Falcons. We're going to talk everything on the Atlanta Falcon Beard Gang. And I just want to thank you guys for having me on, even though I'm the bad guy. I mean, I know Ryan here likes to pop up the Razor Ramon, but apparently, you know, C-Dub is the real heel. I mean, you know, I came from Chicago, Illinois, like CM Punk over here and just turned the whole show around. I didn't know about this. I just, you know, stop me when I'm telling lies. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to stop you right now because you're telling lies because there's only one bad. I'm going to tell you like this. It's only one bad guy.
Oh, yeah, Mexico.
And that's me. You got to understand. It's only one bad guy in the house. Look, you got some things you might do. You create some little crimes, but guess what? There's only one bad guy in here. Understand that, Chico.
I'm just big now. Cool.
Hey, so as my man, the late great Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon, would say, you know, it's okay. We're gonna sit here and roll with it, but guess what? You need people like me. Bad imitation of Scarface, but Scott Hall was the true bad guy. Guess what? I don't mind being the content creator that's disliked because at the end of the day, y'all just got to deal with it. So as we always say, you either get right or you get left. And if your ass ain't hit that subscribe and like button, your ass getting left. So go ahead and get right and hit that button for us. We out of here, baby. BirdCage. Peace.